first podcast guests who have made me food. Usually they're a bit intimidated. A little more twang.
Little bit more.
Little bit more.
Yeah.
Little bit more twang.
Where there's a little bit more going down.
Okay.
Okay. The inflection.
I'll try my best.
There you go.
Oh, it's getting better?
It's getting better.
Oh, it's getting better, mama. It's good.
How long have you been doing YouTube videos now? It's been a minute now, right?
Yeah, I started in like 2019, just making stuff, random stuff.
Yeah.
But it blew up July 2020.
Really?
Midway through the pandemic. Yeah.
Wow.
With the Uncle Roger stuff. That really took off. I think that the very first one I made was a BBC food egg fried rice one, and I love food, right? So that's kind of like when someone sent that video to me, I was like, okay, this shit is hilarious,
right? And
I had the Uncle Roger character bubbling in my head, so I was like, okay, let's do a reaction video.
Yeah,
you know, which is you're familiar with reaction videos, right? You do social media stuff,
of course.
Yeah, people don't do it enough. I think it's a great format for comics.
How does that? So you know? Just from the technical aspect of things, when you're doing a reaction video and it's somebody else's property on YouTube, how you can get away monetizing and stuff like that? Yeah,
that's a thing called fair use. Yeah, so if you transform it enough, if it's commentary or criticism or comedic commentary, then it flies.
Really?
Yeah, every now and then they will send you like a takedown request where you can appeal it, because there's this chef that I've roasted so many times now. He hasn't acknowledged me, Jamie Oliver. He hasn't acknowledged me.
Oh, there's some Jamie Oliver questions that people were asking, and really? when I reached out to people online, they were like, "Yeah, you need to ask him about Jamie Oliver."
Of course, I'll answer all those questions. But every now and then he would issue like a copyright claim. But then legally, I'm well within my bounds because it is transformative and it's different content, right?
Sure.
It's called fair use, so I can just claim that, and he's never succeeded. So, yes.
Yeah, take that, Jamie Oliver.
Yeah, he's doing fine though. You know, let's not feel too bad for him.
Well, what's cool is like you've gotten to a place with those Uncle Roger videos where like you've collaborated with like Gordon Ramsay even and stuff like that, which that's like that's like the pinnacle of if you're doing like food stuff. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I didn't collab with him. He got me out here to LA. I was here in January. Yeah, he asked me to be a special guest on Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, so I just went as Uncle Roger. I think that'd be hilarious. You know? So that was really cool because I mean
I consider that a pretty strong collab. You doing Hell's Kitchen? Yeah, that's dope, man.
Thanks. Yeah, is Jamie Oliver big in the U.S.? Do people know him here?
No, not that I mean, I wasn't familiar with Jamie Oliver. I looked it up after I saw like Jamie Oliver comments and stuff like that. I was like, who is it? I was like, because it was like a thread and the questions that people were asking and stuff like that.
I think I'm actually helping him. Giving him a profile in the U.S.
Yeah, giving him a platform.
Yeah, wow. Jamie Oliver should pay me.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, you're doing a lot for his career.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I mean, you're doing at this point. Yeah, you do a lot of food reviews and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, have you ever had in your life before a peanut butter pickle sandwich?
Peanut butter and pickle? No. No. Peanut butter sandwich, great.
Right.
I like putting jam on there as well.
Yeah.
PB&J, classic.
Right.
Which now nobody eats that anymore. It's all avocado on toast now.
I know.
It sucks. What happened?
I'm all about the PB&J. You creamy or chunky guy?
Chunky, man.
Ooh.
Crunchy. Gotta have the texture.
Okay, interesting. Now, I grew up with peanut butter pickle sandwiches.
Pickles. Okay.
And I made one right before the podcast that is right here. If you're willing to try it.
Yes.
This is a Midwestern delicacy.
Oh, is that where you're from? The Midwest?
That's where I'm from, yeah.
I used to live in Chicago. Yeah, went to university there.
And I will bring this over to you.
Peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Oh. I'm not going to finish the whole thing, yeah.
No, I'll have the other half with you.
Okay.
Just join in.
Here you go. All right, here we go. Smooth peanut butter, crunchy?
This is smooth. So the crunchy you're going to taste is they're Kalen and Kalen pickles. They're my favorite pickles in the world. They're in the LA Farmers Market based.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, here we go.
It's a little bit weird. You actually make this for yourself. Is this some sort of prank, Jeremiah?
It's not a prank, but people will think it's a prank because I grew up on these, and the Midwest might be upset that I'm lumping them in on this.
Did you grow up really poor or something? Is it? What is this? You couldn't afford jam?
I mean, maybe just like this was my pregnant mom thing. Maybe that was a combination that she liked, but we grew up with peanut butter pickle sandwiches.
Wow.
Is it good enough for a second bite? That's my question.
I'll eat the part with the peanut butter. Not the part with the pickles.
If they're clashing too hard?
Yeah. One's salty and... Nobody likes pickles anyway. Who likes pickles? Really? They're always like a side thing. Sometimes people take them out. They're like a compliment to a burger, maybe, to add a bit of like saltiness.
Well, they're not a main course meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're better things, man.
Yeah.
If you like pickled stuff, kimchi is a good shout.
I do like kimchi.
You like kimchi?
Oh, yeah. I love kimchi.
Okay.
My co-host of my other podcast, Scissor Bros, very funny Korean man. He's introduced me to some really good kimchi over in like Koreatown, stuff like that.
Nice. Pickles are just like lazy kimchi, you know? Because kimchi is like, sure, it's pickled, but there's
Pickles
also like...
are like, American kimchi, like without the work ethic.
Yeah, no.
Like, like they didn't study hard enough to become kimchi.
Yep, yeah. Just took a half day off. Just one vegetable that nobody likes. Kimchi, you have like some fish sauce in it.
Right.
Other stuff, and this is just we just left cucumbers out in the open for a while, and
there you go.
Here we go. You sell it in a glass jar. Where in the Midwest did you grow up?
Grew up in Kansas.
Kansas. Yeah, okay.
What's the most Midwestern state that you've been to?
I lived in Illinois, so I've never been anywhere else.
You said you lived in Illinois?
Yeah.
For how many years?
5 years. I went there for university. I worked there for a year as well.
What university? I'll give you a paper towel. You don't have to finish it.
Northwestern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
I'll swap
thank you.
Yeah. There you go.
First podcast guest to have made me food. Usually they'll be intimidated, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Jeremiah has that confidence of a Midwestern guy. Yeah. He's going to like what I eat in my childhood. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Or my pregnant mom. Just couldn't be bothered. You just made that.
Now, what would you grade that, having never tried that combination before?
Out of what?
Okay, let's go.
10 scale?
Yeah, let's go at 10 scale.
3.5.
Whoa.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah, you didn't like it. I think
it's a weird combination.
So here's what I did. One of the reasons why I wanted to ask you if you've ever tried that. I posted an Instagram story earlier in the week of me having a peanut butter pickle sandwich. And I said, I took a poll of people whether that it looked good or if they've tried it or like absolutely not. It was like 75% absolutely not of people
for good reason. Yeah, for good reason. Don't try new things.
Don't try new
things.
No, stick to what you know.
Yeah. How old are you? I'm 31. I know what I like now. You know, new things is over for me, I think.
What's the most recent dish that you've tried that you're like maybe an ethnicity of food where you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like for me, like probably the most recent one, and it's still not very, I want to say 5 years ago, I tried Ethiopian food and it blew my mind how good it was.
It's good, right?
It's really, really good.
Flatbread.
Oh, yeah.
Things on the side.
Injera? Is that what it's called?
I forget now. I haven't had it in a while.
I forget what it's called. It's like this spongy kind of bread. Yeah.
Ethnic food. Well, when I was on tour, I was in Texas. Does that count as ethnic food? To me, it is. To me, you guys are very ethnic.
Yeah. Well, we put a lot of salt and different things in our food that, yeah.
Yeah, just salt though, not
salt
is not
and
a
butter.
Spice, you know. Salt is not
true.
a spice. You gotta get with the program. But Texas barbecue. Sure. It surprised me how good it was.
Have you had Kansas City barbecue?
I have actually on a road trip once.
Okay.
I forget what it was like now. It was too long ago, so I couldn't compare them.
Right.
But people say it's Texas or Kansas, you know?
Yeah. I like them both. I just like barbecue in general. So it's just, for me, I'm just like, okay, let's do this.
The portion sizes, man, just insane. I enjoyed it, but I could barely finish half of it.
It's a lot. Like especially if you're like, how much would you say calorie diet you usually eat a day?
2,300,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you look like slim, like you're in shape.
Yeah, you too. Yeah,
I'm more slim, less in shape.
Okay.
Like I take my shirt off and like I have like that skinny fatness sometimes.
So you have that peer pressure if you live in LA to look good.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, what you'll see a lot of times is you'll see comedians who book shows on TV and stuff like that, and they're kind of slobbish before, but then they start seeing themselves on TV every week. And then they're like, that's what I look like? Oh, this looks horrible.
Yeah, that's what YouTube does to you too.
Yeah. And well, you start especially, you know, people like us who are editing our own stuff a lot.
When you zoom into your face, I'm like, shit, I need to put some concealer on.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm oily today. I should have dapped up a little bit.
Dude, if you're on Asian social media, they will just come at you for your looks, man. Even for guys.
Really?
Asia, I've gotten comments like, I think he's using the wrong shade of concealer. That kind of thing. Oh, someone's hairline's receding. You know, yeah. So it's like, okay, let me get on the keeps. Let me get on the.
And that's our sponsor today.
Yes, I know this. I sponsored my podcast before. Manscaped and Keeps. One gets rid of hair, one keeps the hair.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a good deal. It's a good thing.
It's good. I mean, you're getting the hair in all the right places with those two companies.
Yes,
that's what we want. We want them in the right places.
Yep. Not in your ear or nose, back hair. Fuck that.
No.
Yeah.
I think as a European guy, I'm mainly like Irish and German. I don't really deal with the back hair thing or anything like that.
That's
and you as an Asian person, you don't really deal with that, right?
We don't get any hair anyway.
Yeah,
like a hairless cat. Facial hair.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's how my buddy Steve is. But he's growing a mustache right now. He's growing he's like trying to get that out there.
But that era is over now, though. You know,
the mustache hair.
Yeah, the mustache, the facial hair. People just say you have toxic masculinity or something. Or they're trying too hard to be a hipster with the waxing.
While I'm sporting a giant dad beard.
Yeah, it's all right.
I need to trim up.
Okay. And not a problem I've ever had. So
yeah. What's the longest you've gone without shaving?
I don't know, a week. It just looks weird.
It just starts looking patchy.
I look like I'm going through puberty. Oh, you know, it just grows through here. I look like the Fu Manchu.
Right.
Just stereotype, that caricature.
Right.
It's not a good look.
You're like, yeah, I'd rather not do this.
Yeah. So as an Asian guy, you get to go two looks, right? One, if you can grow facial hair, you leave that and you just go work out and you just go buff.
Yeah.
Or you can go get a bangs, get some bangs, get a fringe, and just go.
Just really go forward with that
route, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, that is a big big avenue right now.
There's two looks for us for Asian guys.
There's two right now.
Yeah.
So you said you started doing stand-up way before obviously the Uncle Roger character hit, which is great for you now because you're able to tour with solid stand-up rather than sometimes people will find something on the internet that really hits and then they're like, oh, I'm going to tour now, but they don't have an act to tour with.
Yeah. And then they don't have the anonymity to practice how to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Right? Everywhere they go, the audience will come. They're known.
And they're laughing maybe for the wrong reasons or whatever.
Or even worse, they're probably letting them down, right?
Yeah.
The fans come and then you suck. Oh, that's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
Have you bombed in front of people who came out to see you? You probably have the chops so you never actually bomb if people are there just to see you.
Back in the day, I did this. This was probably the worst bomb that I had where this was probably 9 or 10 years ago at this point, but my buddy, like one of my really close friends, his birthday, he made his birthday event coming to see me, and he told multiple friends, he brought like 5-6 friends, told them how funny I was, and I bombed my dick off that night. It was absolutely, it's still one of my worst bombs I've ever had. Ooh. And he like vouched for me hard, and he's like, after the show, he told me later, we were laughing about it, he goes, yeah, I looked at him, he's like, he's usually funnier than this, I don't know what happened. Just completely recoiling, I don't know, I thought he was funny, but I don't know, not tonight.
Oh,
yeah,
terrible feeling.
Yeah,
to let your people down. So I'm glad I did stand up beforehand. Yeah.
What would you say because you've done stand up in a lot of countries now,
just
right?
Two mainly,
just
US and then the UK.
The UK.
I've performed in Asia, but I wouldn't say I've
that
been
was the
based
Comedy
there.
Central thing I saw.
I just
was in Asia.
Did a few gigs there. Yeah,
okay.
I was in Singapore.
So Asia, UK, and here in the States.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which would you say is the most difficult?
Most difficult. Ooh, well, let's take Asia out because I never really lived there when I was doing stand-up. I was born and raised there, but I never really lived there and did stand-up. I think, so UK and US. UK definitely harder, man. Have you been to England? Have you been to the UK?
Yeah, they're London, Ireland, and I found Australia was actually, they were really a good energy about them in Australia.
I haven't been. I'm going there next month.
I think you're going to crush there.
I hope so.
There's a lot of comedy fans in Australia.
I sold a lot of tickets, so I need to make sure I do well.
Yeah, well, there you go.
What's worse than not selling tickets is selling tickets and then bombing.
Right.
That's worse, right?
Yeah, because then people know, they know about it.
Yeah. Bombing to a sold out room.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, I shudder thinking about that. But in the UK, man, people are miserable there. I come to LA and then, oh shit, this is what normal people feel like. You know, they're not like, they're kind of, they're in a good mood when they come to a comedy show. They know they're about to have a good time. You go to a UK, man, some of these like, you know, road gigs in the UK, sure, it's easier doing the road in the UK. It's a smaller country.
Yeah.
Right? So you can take a 3-hour train and then just gig, come back home at night. You don't have to stay in a hotel, whatever. You just come home. But some of these nights, man, they would be like somewhere outside London, like a small regional town. And then it would be comedy and curry night. So they would have a little theater, but then outside the theater, they would have a foyer, and then they would have just curry. So people go there for the curry, and then, we'll stick around for the comedy, I guess. And they just go. And the curry is bad. It's horrific. It's England, you know, the food there is not great. And if it's curry served in a theater, like, how good can it be?
Yeah.
It comes in a metal tin, and people just stand in a line.
In the theater while...
Yeah. on a like paper plate.
What?
Yeah, and then it's comedy and curry nights. I bomb at those things all the time because if you're there, you're having shit food, and then you're just there on a Thursday night.
You're getting indigestion while you're watching the act. You're like, you're not feeling good.
Full, and it's shit curry, and if it's good curry, and then you get diarrhea afterwards, it's kind of worth it. You know, but if it's a bad curry, you still get diarrhea.
That's how I feel about any spicy food. If it's good spicy food, it's worth whatever's about to happen to me the next day.
That's how I feel about food allergies and intolerances. You know, I have a mild shellfish allergy, but I still
the taste is so good.
Yeah, I'll take the hives.
Now, what kind of... so you do get a little bit of hives?
Yeah, just hives, man. They go away after 5 hours.
So you've had shrimp and you're like, they go away.
Shrimp is okay. It's like lobster, any sort of shellfish.
You're like, it's really good.
Yeah, but it's good though.
My palate's really developing for it.
You have to sacrifice for your craft. Okay. That's what I've learned.
Have you had Long John Silver's? It's really good.
I'm just gonna go pass out for 5 hours. Yeah. I had an allergic reaction on stage before, but it's just hives. My throat felt a bit tighter than usual.
Really?
Yeah, but
that was the one that you had on stage was the allergic reaction with the throat a little bit.
Yeah. I could feel it like tightening up.
What was the dish?
That wasn't worth it. That was in Liverpool. I had just some shrimp fried rice, but I think the shrimp was just not fresh or something.
Shrimp fried rice, you'll love it here.
What? Here?
You'll love the shrimp fried rice here in Liverpool.
Oh, that's very bad Scouse accent, man.
This is bad?
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It just sounds like one of the Beatles.
What are you doing, mate? Yeah. I love your Americans try British accents.
Okay, so I would love to hear one of your British accents.
Oh, I can't really do it. I do specific lines if I need it in my act.
Okay.
That I learn
to get you into
the act out.
Right.
1 or 2 lines.
Yeah,
I do like a Glaswegian thing. I dropped it here because nobody gets a Glaswegian accent. I just go like, all right, you wee ball bag. Right?
Yeah.
The premise is it's a dumb premise. It's about like how Glaswegian people can't speak English, and I just practice those lines. You know.
Okay.
So I'm practicing a southern one, a southern accent for
one of my jokes.
I know it sounds pretty terrible.
Here, I have an idea. We are going to do an accent workshop with Nigel right now.
Let's try it.
There's a wig underneath that table over there.
I knew you were going to do this.
Oh, yeah. You know it, man.
Wig!
Okay, you said my British accent is no good. Is this any better?
A little bit, yeah.
It's a lot better, yeah?
Yeah, I think the wig transforms it.
Isn't it?
In it. Yeah.
A lot better?
Yeah. Pretty good, bruv. It's pretty good, bruv.
Thanks, bruv.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. You got mad wigs, bruv. What is this thing? You look peng. Peng, bruv. Peng.
You know, it's been through a bit of muck here and there.
Okay. You can see words even I don't know.
So you're from people tell me you're from Alabama. Is that true?
Alabama? No, I'm from this little town in Asia called Kuala Lumpur. You know where we lost the planes? The planes went down.
I mean, I read about it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shit story. Nobody wants to fly Malaysian Airlines anymore.
I mean, it's true. You wouldn't catch me dead on a Malaysian Airlines flight.
I just get on a Malaysian Airlines flight and I have the whole plane for myself. It's a good time.
And just to clarify, this is your southern accent, yeah.
This is my terrible attempt at the southern accent. This is me trying to be racist towards white people. When I see white people, this is what I do.
I mean, honestly,
to me, that's how y'all sound like.
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
With the y'alls and stuff like that. Yeah, just add, I would say, do you have any notes for me with my British accent?
No notes, brother.
No notes,
brother.
Okay, what I'll say about
pretty good.
About the southern one, okay?
Okay.
Try to start adding a little more twang. You know what I mean?
A little more twang.
Little bit more.
Little bit more?
Yeah.
Little bit more twang?
Where there's a little bit more going down.
Okay.
Okay, the inflection.
I'll try my best.
There you go.
Oh, it's getting better?
It's getting better.
Oh, it's getting better, mama. It's good.
See? There we go.
I don't want to make it go black all of a sudden. I'd be all sorts of offensive on this podcast today.
Hey, we're doing characters. Everything is A-okay.
Yes.
As long as we're in these wigs and we're doing fun voices, everything is A-okay.
Yeah, you can say the N-word in a wig. Nobody can come get you.
That's what I always say. N-words welcome on Jeremiah Wonders. That's what I always say.
If you have a wig, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, honestly, people just need to start dressing up a little bit more so people know that they're not being serious when they say these bad things. You know what I mean? We're all having a good time here.
Yeah. That's all right with me. If Tucker Carlson had a wig on, he would just be...
He's playing.
Yeah.
He's just having a good time.
He's just being silly. He's just being
silly.
Goofy.
He's just being a little so-and-so. That's what he's
being.
He's right with the Lord. He's okay.
Exactly. Pick a wig on, sit on your porch, drink some iced tea. Is that what Southern people do?
I mean, Donald Trump has a wig on. He's just playing around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He's not racist at all.
No, he's just having a good old time. That's not his real voice. You think that's his real voice?
No.
There's no way.
He's just putting on a character.
He's putting on a character.
He's the best comic America's ever seen.
I mean, low key. He could pull some arenas.
Yeah, I think so.
He has people show out.
He could call people fat, and people still buy tickets to his show.
It's true. People would actually love it and actually ask him after the show, will you call me fat? Because people like that, you know?
Yeah.
Once you establish yourself in a certain way, people want to see that.
If I call people fat, that's the end of my career.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
People think I'm just this nice Asian boy making videos about Asian food. And the moment I make a pedophile joke, they go, why is Uncle Roger talking like this? And they go, this is not what I signed up for.
So it's a very specific kind of thing that they're signed up for.
Sometimes.
But
most of the time, people come, they see me do the pedophile jokes and the ass-eating jokes, and they're like, okay, this nice little Asian boy's a human being too.
Right.
He's got needs and pleasures and wants.
But who would have known that at the core of being a Malaysian boy, there's just a Southern gentleman on the inside?
Yes, I'm secretly... Call me... What's a good Southern name for my next character?
Let's see here. For your next character...
Dale. Call me Dale.
Dale could be good.
Billy.
Cyrus could be... Cyrus?
How do you spell Cyrus?
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I can be Uncle Cyrus.
Yeah.
Review people fucking up
Uncle Cyrus.
Barbecue.
That sounds like a racist man right there. Uncle Cyrus. Uncle Cyrus. He sounds like he's been through some stuff.
Uncle Cyrus probably hates Uncle Ben's. He probably sees that shit in his cabinet.
That is some uncle hate going on right there.
And just turns the packet over. I don't want to see no face of no black man in my kitchen cabinet.
But he's okay with Uncle Ben from the Spider-Man comics.
Uncle Ben from the Spider-Man. Yeah, because that uncle's white.
Yeah. Unless, it's a different universe. I mean, there's a lot of Spider-Man universes going on lately where they're not just white anymore, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anybody can be Spider-Man. They're probably going to make an all-female Spider-Man.
Ugh. Don't get me started on that.
Uncle Cyrus. What's his favorite pastime?
Sitting
on his porch.
Probably moonshine.
Shooting Asian people.
That's a pastime.
Yeah. Back where I come from.
Where I come from, that is a good old American pastime.
We call it target practice.
Target practice.
Get a gun, shoot some Asians, get the COVID out of here.
Well, I'll see you later, Uncle Cyrus.
See you later, Jeremiah.
Oh, no, my name's not Jeremiah.
Oh, your name's not Jeremiah? Who are you? Who are you then?
Oh, my name is Tev.
Tev? Mm-hmm. Tev from England, Tev. Mm-hmm. Where in England you from, Tev?
Well, originally, yeah, my name's Tev from it's like Birmingham.
Birmingham?
Yeah, Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
And why did you move to America?
You know, I started, I had an app that I actually started up. It's a big old thing, actually. It's a locator of other people who are from the UK that are visiting, that are trying to connect with Americans, but also get some tail at the same time.
Ah.
Yeah.
Uncle Cyrus, I need me some of that app. I need to find an app.
Well, the catchphrase for that app is "that app though."
That app though. Okay, how's that doing?
It's not doing very well, mate.
Nah, nobody's getting it.
No, the stocks are plummeting, actually.
Oh no, you're the new Netflix.
It's true, 40% down, mate.
Sorry, Tev. Gotta try harder.
All right. Well, Uncle Cyrus, I'll see you later. All right.
See ya, Tev.
Wig.
Yeah, but it's nice that I can do all these. I can attempt these accents and it's not racist, right? As a white guy, you can only do other white people's accents.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the 80s, it was like, whoa, like fair game for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But now it is there's certain ones now that people, even if I'm doing a character that where like there might be a little bit of pushback on, one that like I've got this one character that there's every once in a while some people will say some stuff. It never like gets like too out of hand or anything, but like I do this this character named Skeeter that is he's a white dude with dreadlocks. And yes. He's from Catalina Island, which is an island right outside of Los Angeles.
Okay.
But he does a Jamaican-esque accent. Like he claims to be from the island, but the Catalina Island. So literally I get like 2 comments per time I post a video, and I'm like, it's so silly. I'm not trying to culturally appropriate or anything. Mm-hmm. It's a silly point of view. There's real white guys out there with dreadlocks. That's a thing.
There's the Island Boys.
Yes.
Right? Remember those? Remember those 2 blokes?
I mean, talk about people who blew up during the pandemic.
Yeah, and I think they couldn't maintain it.
They can't sustain.
Yeah.
When you go that high that fast, it's better to have like not be a flash in the pan and just slowly like build up, where it's not all at once, where it's kind of like okay. Mm-hmm. Then people are like, okay, this guy's like gonna stick around.
Would you pay to see them do stand up?
No way. I would be so mad. I mean, so T.I. has been doing stand up lately.
Yes, I heard.
And here's my thing on the T.I. thing is I don't care if a rapper does stand up and wants to do stand up. There's comedians who like to rap and do stuff. Mm-hmm. The thing that I have an issue with is he doesn't respect the art form. He's dropping in on these places, and then when he's being lit, he's not getting off stage. He's literally being like, I'm a superstar. They're like,
worst.
well, comedians, we respect the light. He's like, well, I'm not a comedian, I'm a superstar. I'm like, well, then don't do this then. Like, don't, you know what I mean?
Is that what he does?
That's what he said it in multiple videos. Where he's just disrespecting the room of the people who are putting it on. I'm like, that's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, the same way, like every art form, there's people need respect for it, right? Like a lot of stand-ups don't really respect the social media stars. Sure. Until they try their hand at it. They're like, oh shit, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I mean, to get a lot of views on stuff, it's difficult.
A lot of what? A lot of views.
Yeah, a lot of views.
Yeah, I got very lucky, you know. And there are a lot of Asian people in the world. I found a good demographic.
Yeah. Well, that is a good demographic for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of Asians on Earth.
There's a lot of us.
They make up a lot of the Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, and we love our food a lot, you know. So that's like a nice entry point.
Yeah, I mean,
we didn't grow up eating like, you know, whatever that was. Peanut butter and pickles.
Okay, what's a childhood dish that you would recommend to me that you would be like, okay, you probably haven't had this, but I think that you would love it?
Anything Malaysian, really. We
Really?
would wake up eating like rice.
Jeremiah Wonders is brought to you by Upstart. It can be hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you have high interest debt. That's where Upstart comes in. Upstart powered personal loans can help you pay off high interest debt all online with simple and easy to understand payment terms. Upstart has helped over 1.8 million customers on their path to financial freedom. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, Upstart can help you get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Rather than looking at your credit card score alone, Upstart's model considers other factors like your income and employment to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000 without impacting your credit score. You can even receive funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. Don't wait and check your rate today at upstart.com/Jeremiah. That's upstart.com/Jeremiah to check your rate today. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit income and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/Jeremiah. Now let's get back into this episode of Jeremiah Wonders with our pal, Nigel.
Yeah, congee. Have you tried congee?
No, what is congee?
It's like porridge, but like good. It's made of rice, just a little bit wetter. And then you wake up.
Is it curry-esque?
No, just rice and water.
Just rice and water?
Sometimes you can put sesame oil in it. You can put like a salted egg.
So you're used to having hot breakfast.
Yeah.
See,
cold stuff just baffles me, man.
Really?
It just feels sad. You get it from like the Whole Foods freezer aisle. You just take it off the fridge aisle. It's the little sandwiches in the little triangle box.
Right.
Oh.
So cereal. How do you feel about cereal?
It's okay in a pinch. But
it's never a go-to for you.
Never. Unless I just really don't feel like cooking, I would have some granola and some milk.
Okay.
But then if you in Asia, if you grew up eating mostly cereal, we just think your parents didn't love you as much. Because my mom always made me eggs. If she made cereal for me, there would still be a side of eggs and something bacon. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah. If it's just like a simple breakfast.
I like that about your culture. That's cool.
Yeah.
Because like, my mom would cook. My mom would usually cook a couple meals a day, but breakfast was every once in a while. It was more like she would pack us a lunch for school. Mm-hmm. Like she would pack us some kind of lunch and then a hot dinner every night.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Do you eat out a lot?
Currently?
No, I mean like when you were growing up.
No, it was like we would eat out every once in a while, but it was more like stuff like McDonald's and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
See, in Asia, it's much easier to eat out, man. A lot of times, women, girls who grow up there, and women there, before they get married, nobody knows how to cook. Because we just eat out. It's cheap. It's easy. Every street corner has a nice eatery, a nice joint.
Yeah.
You go there, hang out with friends.
Are the carts big, like culture, like food carts,
street
stuff
food
like that?
carts,
Yeah.
hawker stalls. So a little area with lots of carts.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
they have those. There's one in Portland that they call Cartopia, and it's this little section of like 12 different spots that are all lined up.
But carts in the Western world, they're very like hipstery though.
Oh no,
Right?
This is a very hipster spot.
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
So carts in Asia, it's just normal people go there. You don't have to wear flannel, you know. Is that reference still relevant? Do hipsters still wear? I haven't lived here in a while.
No, I mean
do they still do that
to a point?
Okay.
Yeah. But I do like that idea of like a Costco of like hipster carts where they're like
dress
whoa.
code.
Hey, you have to have your flannel, you have to have a handlebar mustache, and you have to have a
top 3 favorite albums by Arcade Fire. Go.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. If Weezer isn't in your top 10, then
you're not getting
We're
in.
not doing this.
Yeah. That would be funny. But yeah, I've been to Portland before. It's nice. Yeah.
I love Portland. Is actually one of my favorite cities to do stand up in. Because they're like kind of weird and they appreciate the weird, which that's what I love. That's what I love to do.
Really.
You know what I mean? That's me at my core. I'm just kind of a weird guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think most stand-ups are kind of weird.
I think every stand-up is inherently a little off or a little bit weird, but they sometimes mask it with a cooler persona or something like that. You know?
Okay.
I don't know. I like the people who act cool on stage. I'm like, is that really you?
Like who acts cool? Like Sebastian Maniscalco, that type? the confident guy vibes.
That would be funny to me if Sebastian is actually really insecure because he's like a good looking, like strong, like Italian American guy. And I'd love it if he's like secretly like really meek and like really shy.
Aren't you embarrassed? I am embarrassed.
No, I think we're all embarrassed at different points in our life. Yeah.
My Uncle Vinny, he's the normal one. I'm the weird one.
My dad killed animals in front of me as a kid, and it really put me off for a while. Yeah.
That guy, I would love to be the Asian version of that guy. You know, when all the Italians show up to support him.
Dude, that's a cool thing that he's got going. Yeah.
He's like, I bring him up in the UK and nobody knows who he is, but he sells out like Madison Square Garden, like arenas. He just started
really in the last several years really popping in the US, where it's like, I think it's growing outside of the US, but like in the US, like he's one of our biggest comics right now.
Yeah, he is. I love his stuff, and his stuff is very like Italian American centric though.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were that many Italian Americans for him to like play to.
Oh,
it's a
for
big
sure.
population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the first American stand-up that you were introduced to?
Oh, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Louis C.K., Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a bit later, Dave Chappelle.
Now, was that like when you were growing up around Malaysia? Like in that area?
In Malaysia. Yeah. I was YouTube just came into existence, right?
Right.
Early 2000s-ish?
Yep.
Mid 2000s?
That's exactly when it was.
I remember watching Eddie Murphy, that one with the orange jumpsuit. Raw or Delirious, one of the orange jumpsuit one.
Okay. The red jumpsuit?
Yeah, the red. Was it red or orange? I don't remember now.
I think it was red, depending on...
I think it was Delirious. Yeah.
Delirious.
And then I remember
one was purple,
ice cream
one
routine.
was... Oh, yeah.
That was so funny.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I love the Eddie Murphy stuff. It's just the fact that it got to Malaysia, that means it's like universal.
Yeah.
Right? Which is crazy.
So CK, Eddie Murphy. That's
CK,
cool.
Russell Peters.
He was
big all over Asia.
Yeah, of course. He's so nice, man. Have you met him?
No.
He's so nice, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. He's done this podcast years ago. Like he did it in my in the living room of my apartment years ago.
I jumped on my back. One guy jumped on my side, and the guy on my side, I just did this thing, and he ended up in front of me. So I put him in a guillotine.
Wow.
Now,
were they were trying to jump you?
No, this is where the misunderstanding came in. The guy on my back jumped off and ran around. I was like, Russell, that's me. And I was like, oh shit. And then when I let him go, I didn't realize how long I had choked him out for. And excuse the smell you're about to get.
I was wondering what that sound was.
I farted.
I thought you stomped.
I did, out of my ass.
I literally felt like the floor shake.
Oh my God, is there a tremor?
I literally was like, is there an elephant in here? What's going on?
Ass tremors again?
Ass tremors coming to a theater near you. Kevin Bacon is back, but this time the tremors are coming out of his ass.
Oh, he had his driver wait outside in his car. Like he's so cool to do that. You know what I mean?
Desperate to leave immediately.
No, he uses
in case this shit is terrible.
Right. He's like, let's go.
Yeah.
No, he's like, yeah, my driver's outside. Like, we can go for as long as you want. I was like, oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, he was super nice.
I need to get a driver, man.
Dude,
these
it would
Ubers.
be amazing to have it.
Yeah, these Ubers. I can't fuck with these Ubers anymore.
Dude.
It's just too much.
What?
Sometimes they have like a charging cable for you and water, but the car's dirty.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, get your priorities straight, man. Just
I'd rather
clean the car.
I'd rather have a clean car.
Yeah,
like
I don't
me
need a
sitting
charger.
in this. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're throwing mints and chargers at you. And I'm like, it's filthy in here. What are we doing?
You're not masking this thing. You're not trying to distract me.
Yeah, they're spraying Febreze as you enter. That new car scent.
Yes.
I never
as you
got
see
that.
like dirt and hair.
Yeah.
You know, and shit on the floor. Just ugh. And they never use the air conditioning in the cars here. Maybe I'm too cheap and I only use Uber X.
I always have to ask, and I feel like I'm being like this high maintenance person. I'm like, hey, it's kind of hot in here. Is it, like they have the windows down. I'm like, this isn't cutting it.
Yeah, like that's where the hot comes from, outside. That's where you turn the windows down. That's really help.
Do you guys know how this works?
Yeah, and the thing is, maybe I don't know. Gas prices are high here now. You know,
right?
So I don't know if it's like a thing people do, just
trying to be more efficient,
rolling
maybe
the windows down, or maybe is it a Russia-Ukraine thing? The gas prices are soaring, so they just don't want to use the air conditioning anymore.
I didn't know that if like it was like out of solidarity, they're putting their windows at half mast.
No, nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that for Ukraine. Just doing that for their own pocket to save money. I think.
I used to work at this car wash where people would come in with these really old cars,
filthy. And we would ask them what scent they wanted in the car. If they wanted vanilla, if they wanted jasmine. 9 times out of 10, they're like, could I get the new car scent? It made zero sense to me.
What is a scent? Is there a spray?
For your 1993
new car scent?
Yeah. You just spray it underneath the carpet. And sometimes people would ask for the new car scent and not get the vacuum. So it would stay dirty and filthy inside, but they're like, I want the new car scent. I'm like, what are you trying to do?
Who are you tricking? Who are you fooling? A blind woman?
Yeah.
Just comes in, is this a new car?
Oh, wow.
It smells so good.
Fancy.
There's dust everywhere.
I know.
I can feel dust.
Yeah. Is that
easily
a tablet?
impressed.
What is that? Is that a scroll over here in the corner?
Yeah, what is this? It's gooey and a bit like, is this peanut butter or shit? What is this? Who's that fooling? I just want to know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are they too cheap? Why? Are they too cheap to splurge for a full car wash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe maybe they want it washed, but the interior is not their priority. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can only date gullible blind women then.
No, there you go.
To
It's a
impress
very
them.
specific thing that you can put on your search for your dating apps.
You can filter it on Hinge. It's probably
just
a feature.
filter.
Blind only, you know.
Yep. That's got to be a dating app, right?
What, the blind
Only,
blind date?
Like OnlyBlinds?
OnlyBlinds. Is that for dating or is that for curtains, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's a tricky situation.
OnlyBlinds.
Yeah.
You should come out with that. That's the app you should be writing.
OnlyBlinds.
Yes, OnlyBlinds. Only
Yeah.
deafs.
But then it could be a poker thing too. It gets a little dicey.
True. There should be like an app that caters to people's fetishes, I think. Because there's so many apps.
I think it's called Craigslist. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, I get so many of my Asian female friends who just complain about, when they meet white guys on dating apps, it's an Asian fetish. And my take on it is, first of all, if the only guys you're seeing, they all have Asian fetishes, that means you're just not good looking then. You know, that's the only thing worth liking about you is your ethnicity. So sorry to say that. But there needs to be an app that some people like being fetishized, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, Craigslist.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on it. I'm making an account. You know,
I mean, that's why it's very discreet. M for W, M for M, like all those little different code words and stuff like that.
M for B, blind.
Yeah. Yeah.
M for B.
M for B.
New car scent.
Was there, how long did you live in Malaysia for?
20 years.
So
the first 20 years of my life.
Did you do, was there around that time, that would have been, you said you're 31, 11 years ago, was there dating apps like around that time that were starting to pop off?
No. I was born in 91. I left Malaysia 2010. Okay. There was no dating apps back then.
Yeah. And dating apps hit what, 2015 maybe?
No, a bit earlier. I graduated in 2014. So I think apps were starting to 2012 maybe.
Like okay, cool.
I think Tinder, when it first started, was marketed to fraternities and sororities, right?
Oh.
I think so. I think that's how they started marketing.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, for people who, they're just wanting to hook up and keep swiping on to the next one.
Well, I mean, you have the frat parties to go to. That's where you can meet them anyway.
Yeah.
Why do you need the app? But anyways, those are the cool kids in universities here.
Sure.
I never got into one. You just never. I don't think I'm a good fit for those. I'm not cool enough.
Oh, for fraternity?
Yeah. Not the right vibe.
I wouldn't want to be in a fraternity.
No. Okay.
I like team sports, but like the fraternity mentality is so weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like Boy Scouts. It's like, you know what I mean?
True.
It's like,
I think stand-ups, we just like being alone, just like doing our own shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're kind of lone wolves, but every once in a while, like, we're doing this Netflix's festival. Like it's cool to see comedians come from different areas and get to connect up and stuff like that. Like, this is like, I was stoked that you're able to do the podcast because I know you don't live here. So I was like, oh, perfect. Yeah, let's make this happen.
Yeah, cool, man. What are you doing in the festival?
So I'm doing my stand up on the spot show on Tuesday at the Comedy Store.
That is so nerve wracking, man.
It's I say
it's like the one where they had a little topic at the back. That's another one.
People yell it out. Yeah.
No. They did one before, the same format ish. What's it called? Like Stand Up Without a Net or something?
Oh, so that is like a projector thing that they do with pre-written ones, and that one's called Setlist. That's my buddy Troy Conrad and Paul Provenza. They do that one.
Okay, so you just ripped off that concept. And
I was actually before them.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually before them.
Okay.
But they had I was early into comedy when I started doing stand up on the spot, and they were already well into their comedy careers and they were doing their thing. It was one of those things where how things come out like the Paul Blart and Observe and Report, those two like mall cop movies.
Observe and Report.
Yeah, that
I've
was
never
the
heard
Seth
of that
Rogen
one.
one. Oh,
I've only
Seth
heard of Paul Blart.
Okay, well,
that was more mainstream.
There you go. So you're a setless guy.
Well, I just like winners.
People just people just literally different ideas, and they're very different shows actually. When you do them and you see them, they're very different. But they just happen to come out like they started their show like 6 months after I started, and it just happened to be one of those weird universe things where it's like we didn't know I didn't even know that people were telling me like, hey, I just saw this flyer. Is this your show? And I'm like, no, what is this? You know?
Oh,
yeah.
But it's so nerve-wracking, though. You know,
improvised stand-up is I tell people, I'm like, it's the hardest show to do. Like in stand-up, it is the hardest show to do. But when you pull it off, it is the most gratifying show to do as well, because you feel like you've really overcome something.
I see.
Yeah.
But then you record those shows.
So what I've been doing is I've been recording them lately through the Comedy Store. I'm doing like a new series that I've been putting out on my YouTube. And before I put any comedian sets out, I have to get their approval. So like I'll cut up their set and then I riff with them after their set on stage, and I send them the whole thing. I'm like, do you want anything taken out? Do you is there something that you definitely don't want included? Do you want to not be included at all? So I make sure that they're 100% comfortable before anything goes out, because I'm like, it might be bad. My sets are 50-50 on the show. Some of my sets, I'm like, okay, like, you know, they're warming up to the concept, and like I'm going first, trying to get it going. That it's also the hardest show to host, because you're trying to convince somebody of a concept that you're just presenting to them.
Yes, and you probably can't do your material, right? People will get mad at you.
No.
You start launching into a bit.
No, they're looking at me.
Boo, fuck off.
They're looking at me as the host and creator, like, this guy has to be good. He created this, right?
Yeah.
So like the expectations are like, I got to bring it, and a lot of times I'm like, now the show's ready. Are we good, guys? Like, it's hard, you know? It's a difficult one.
It's hard. In my shows here, I actually open the show as Uncle Roger. I'm my own support act.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
So you come out in the orange polo and everything?
I come out, just give them what they want, right? They want to see Uncle Roger.
So interesting.
But then because I want to headline as myself.
So how long do you do as Uncle Roger?
20 to 30.
And then you do?
An hour.
Wow.
Yeah, but Uncle Roger is a lot of riffing, a lot of shitting on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
course. But that's fun though.
Yeah, it is. People want to see that.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah.
That's really smart, because that's kind of the best of both worlds that way. Because I was curious if people ever are yelling out during, you know, your stand-up set, like we want to see Uncle Roger. If you've already given that to them up top, then you're like, focus on my jokes now. Like, I'm a comic first. Like, this happens to be a character that I'm grateful that it's popular and you guys like, but I gave that to you. Now we're on to what I want to show you.
Yeah, that, and you save money on opening acts too. So
no, that's great. Especially like
sometimes I do need to get an opening act because I need to change. Yeah.
Yes,
so I need them to be on stage as I change. If I don't have an opening act, then I do an intermission.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. In Britain, all comedy shows they have like intermissions.
Yeah,
it's a format there. The club, if you do a weekend club,
do you think that helps when you have the intermission, or do you think it's a harder reset to get it going again, like the energy and stuff like that?
I think, in my experience in the UK, it's 3 sections: host act 1, break; host and act 2, break; now host and act 3. Right. So act 2 after the first intermission is the easiest. That's the best the situation the room is in. You know, it's
after which break?
After the first break.
After the first break.
Yeah. So the middle section is the easiest, because people are warm enough. They're warmed up by the first comic. Yeah. And then they had drinks. They go to order food and drinks. I'm done with those, so they're in a good mood.
A lot of times the feature spot at some of these clubs, that middle spot, is the easiest, because the host has already set them up and they're just they're doing their best stuff for 25 minutes.
Yep.
Sometimes, like, if I follow certain features on the road, like,
it's hard sometimes.
It's hard sometimes because they, especially if they're local, they're doing the local references that people know and they like, and they really know the energy of that club. Yeah. I have to come in, I'm like, okay, these first 5 or 10, I got to bring it. Otherwise, like, I'm going to get buried. Like,
yep.
You know?
In Asia too, man, they know the local shit. They love the local stuff.
Yeah, of course. Everybody
Sometimes,
loves it.
I perform in Europe, in like, what is it? Sweden or Iceland? I forget now. But the feature will come on and do comedy in their language. So he'll be crushing, but you have no idea what he's saying. And then you go on there and you I feel buried, because like it's their second language.
Of course.
No matter how funny my jokes are, it's still a barrier.
There's still going to be a delay.
Yeah. So it's just a very bizarre thing to have someone go and raw. People are just laughing at all the time. It's a very bizarre feeling.
I mean, that's your heart rate has got to be so escalated backstage. You're like, he's crushing it. I don't even know what he's saying.
Yeah. Like, do our materials overlap? You know?
Yeah, you have no idea. You have no context.
Doing like jokes about rice and rice cookers?
You're like, that's my thing. I need this.
That's a weird thing, man.
That is odd.
Yeah. Have you gigged there? You said you've been in London, Ireland, you know?
Yeah.
Comedy is way better here, man. Seriously, US.
I mean, I think since stand-up is a very like American thing, like it takes a little bit long. I think all the other countries will catch up like down the line, you know, like especially with the internet and everything. Comedy audiences will get better and better literally every year in other countries.
Well, that I don't know, man, because the thing in the UK is comedy comes from theater. So a lot of people still do very theatrical, like Nanette type stuff.
The one-man show.
The one-man show, yeah.
Right.
And then like I've gotten in the UK, when you do like this sort of hour-long shows at festivals, you get a lot of reviewers. And I have reviewers come in. I've gotten like, I always say if your show gets like a 2 out of 5 stars, a 2-star show, that means that's going to be a show that's going to be popular. It's going to be a mainstream, crowd-pleasing show. People want to buy tickets to it. If you get 4.5, 5 stars, it's getting a bit niche, getting a bit one-man showy.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I got a review one time from The Guardian for this current tour show. I remember like crushing that night, doing really well. But he wrote the review 2 stars, and he talked about everything except how the audience was responding.
It was just all his, like, what his preference was.
Yeah, his preference was, how artsy he thinks it is, how unique, how original. And sure, I mean, I don't think I'm hack, but I'm also not the most, like, original, insightful comic.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just a very bizarre place to be. And then I go to see these 4-star, 5-star shows, and they are like 5 minutes can go by without a single laugh. And people are crying at the end. You know, because they have a touching story.
Yeah, you're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's what comedy is.
Yeah. You're
UK.
like, I can't do this at any club. Like, if you brought that to any comedy club, you know what I mean?
You would see them sometimes. They would just try to do a weekend spot Saturday night at a comedy club.
Yeah.
And they would talk about their uncle touching them when they were a kid. It's like...
You're like, this is a bit much for a Friday 7 p.m. show.
Yeah, people just want to enjoy their chips.
Yeah.
And their tacos.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And their chicken wings. They eat chicken wings.
They're sobbing while eating chicken wings, like relating to whoever's on stage. You're like, oh, this is a nightmare.
He brought me up to the attic.
Yeah.
They just humiliated me.
And you're like, hi, could I get some more ranch? That'd be great. Thank you.
Some napkins, please?
Yeah. This comic's being sad on stage right now. I'd like to eat my feelings. Thank you. Let's I want to get into this. I got a couple more quick segments for you.
Cool. Is that okay so far? Is that all right?
Dude, you're doing great. I feel like we're flowing, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I feel like, we're going back and forth great. Like, especially for you and I literally never meeting before. I love how this has been going. So I've been having a blast with you, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. Me too.
Yeah.
I always get very like insecure. Like, oh, is this even okay? Every time I finish recording a podcast, I'm like, oh, they're never gonna release it. It's not good. They're never gonna release it. And then they release it. I'm like, oh, thank fuck.
That's how I feel. My wife literally has told me, like, anytime I do just a peers podcast that maybe I enjoy or I respect them, I get inside my head so much. Like, I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm like, can you watch this for me? Like, to let me know, like, if is this in my head that like I didn't feel like I did good, and like every time she's been like, that was great. What are you talking about? I'm like, I don't know. I just care.
Yeah.
I just want to be good for them so they're not let down by me.
But then when you keep thinking, I want to be good, then you try too hard and then it becomes so bad.
I know. And they're like, oh, look at this try hard over here. Yeah. I mean, I've had plenty of podcast appearances where the comments are like, this guy tries too hard. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Why is he bringing a wig?
I brought some wigs to some podcasts. I brought some wigs onto some other people's podcasts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it worked out. It luckily worked out.
Okay.
I brought one not just for me, but for the whole cast that was on the show.
Okay.
And it worked out all right.
That's all right. It would be weird if you were the only one with the wig.
I mean, just like I'm uncomfortable, like acting natural as myself. I'm just like, oh, so
yeah, what the fuck with Mark Maron, and he just show up with a wig.
Honestly, I should do that because he and I, as far as like the way we podcast, it's polar opposite. And that would be so fun to do WTF and then literally just like put on a wig and then be like,
what are you doing?
Have you not done it? I thought everybody in LA has done that show now. He's running out of people to interview, isn't he?
Yeah, which means that I'm due.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Get
brought,
that wig ready.
I brought him up at the Comedy Store the other night, and I was supposed to bring up somebody else that was on the lineup, and they weren't there. So I start to bring them up, and then from the God mic, they go, "Nope, it's actually Mark Maron." I go, "Okay." Also, another good friend of mine. You know, I'd already done like the whole intro, and I'm like, I'm gonna be doing his podcast someday soon. Please give it up for Mark Maron. Like
nice.
That's I don't know. He probably hated that, but that's our relationship. We just go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, how tight is and we can cut this up. I'm just curious, how tight is like the LA podcast scene? Do you know people like Rogan?
I know Rogan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was at the Comedy Store for years, and he did a lot for the Comedy Store. He lives in Texas now, obviously.
Yeah.
But he did stand up on the spot a bunch. He's been very good and helpful to me over the years, and like would shout me out on his show a lot and stuff like that.
That's
So
nice.
yeah, he does a lot for the comedy community. So like I've got a bunch of buddies who've done Rogan and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have to say it's a bit surreal, man, because I watch all you guys podcasts because LA has so many podcasts, right?
Right.
And to be here doing one of them is like, wow, it's cool.
Well, dude,
I find it very cool.
I'm stoked to have you here,
Oh,
man.
thanks, man. All right.
I'll ask you a few questions real quick.
Enough sucking dick now. That's
right. Let's get to the nitty gritty. We're gonna do a little bit of fanning out right now.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
Raidzilla1 on Instagram asks, please give us the true definition and breakdown of the word hiya.
Hiya. Okay. It's just a word I grew up using, you know, so it's a word that has a lot of variations throughout Asia. In Hong Kong, they would say "aya," or even in Taiwan, "aya," China as well. And then maybe in Korean, it's like "aigu." And then in Malaysia, we have variations, right? So we say "hiya," and I think it conveys a sense of like, things didn't go your way.
Interesting.
So like a disappointing. It's almost like a sigh. It's like "hiya," right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you stab your toe. Hiya, you stub your toe.
For me,
whatever.
growing up with like American karate movies, it was little kids always going hiya.
Oh yeah, that's something different. That's more like your an exclamation before you hit something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that in the Karate
Biff
Kid.
Bam Pow kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
But hiya, it's more like shit. It's
Right.
more, yeah, this is shit.
This one comes from Kaiser CM 911. Why the orange collar shirt and what music do you like?
Orange color shirt because when I was coming out with the character, at first I was just riffing on the podcast, so I just did the accent. Hiya, Uncle Roger. I'm real estate agent. I started as a real estate agent, and I said I was just this kind of sketchy guy who's trying to just close a sale. I know that blood on wall, but don't worry, I clean very nice for you. It not small, it cozy. That kind of vibe. So it was just audio only, right? So when on audio, my podcast fans at the time, they loved the character. So I was like, okay, I need to do some sort of video thing.
Yeah.
And so I started doing my research. How would an Asian uncle dress, a middle-aged Asian guy dress? I think back to my parents and I asked my Asian friends, send me a picture of your dad right now, what he's wearing.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of the times they are like, if they were in Asia, a tropical place, it would be like tank tops. But I don't really want to do that, right?
Yeah.
It's too much. But usually they have just garish polo, something with a collar, but it's short sleeves.
Okay.
And then always a garish color, maybe a stripe on it. So I just settled on orange. Just picked one and it just took off from there. It's kind of this iconic look now.
Do you have like a bunch of orange shirts? And
I think I got like 8 or 10.
Yeah.
They're cheap on Amazon. Well,
there you go.
And then when I'm on tour, on my last stop, I just throw it out into the crowd.
Oh, well, have you had people, I'm sure you've had people at some point dress up like you for Halloween.
Yes, Halloween.
Yeah.
They come to my shows dressed up like me.
That's got to be surreal, man.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I roast them. I always talk to them. If they come to my show, I sit in the front row. If I can see them, I would just totally talk to them.
You go for it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And that's a cool thing. My agents told me, like, I think I've created something cool here because when people go see John Mulaney, they don't dress up in a suit. So
right.
Yeah, social media, the character has a bit more sway. People want to dress up as him. As for music, I like I don't know if you're listening to a lot of K-pop lately, man. Yeah.
What are some of the K-pop groups that you listen to?
I like the classics, the BTS, the Blackpink, Twice. Psy has a new song. Just came out. Remember Psy, the Gangnam Style guy?
Oh yeah. Dude, that went so
I know.
huge.
I don't know how.
It was one of those things, man.
Catchy.
Like that was Super Bowl. Like it was. I think you know what I think it is. I think it's that the hook of the I think there's something in that humans love stuff that they can also like mimic like that.
Yeah.
Where it's catchy. It's catchy and they can mimic the
Gangnam Style.
You know what I mean? It's just like it just gets in your head.
I love like the rise of K-pop is basically, to me, it feels like a giant fuck you to all lyricists out there, because like nobody understands what they're singing, but it's just globally listened to.
Right.
So people who write lyrics is like,
That's the whole thing with the rap mixed with the Spanish culture right now. You know what I mean? Like there's like there'll be rap, and then there'll be like a verse that's completely like kind of reggaeton-y, that's completely in Spanish. I mean, you know, the Justin Bieber like Despacito song. Like it's a merging of worlds. It's like merging of markets basically.
Yeah.
It's really smart what they're doing. They're like, oh no, this is very American, but we're also gonna bring in this other culture, and both of you guys are gonna love it.
wow.
Yeah, that's like what Coldplay and BTS. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're trying to merge different like cultures and different like genres and stuff like that, and it ends up
just
being
Coldplay
huge.
trying to stay relevant. I think
mean,
it's Chris Martin trying to stay relevant.
I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you on that for sure. He's like, how do we come up with another hit
Yes,
that's
I'll
not...
do some songs with young Asian boys.
Yeah. Yes. Nobody would call me old play anymore.
Hey.
Hey. Mason Walsh on Instagram. Is it hard being so much better than Gordon Ramsay?
I feel that pressure every day.
Yeah.
Every day I have to yell at someone
You have to.
because I'm, taking the torch from Gordon, yelling at people. He's a nice guy though. He's such a cool guy in real life. Gordon Ramsay has such a great sense of humor.
Oh, I mean, I go down rabbit holes just because you know how the algorithm, if you like something, it starts feeding it to you. The amount of Gordon Ramsay videos of him just destroying people that I see that I love, that, and then it'll also show every once in a while when he really likes something, it's so gratifying. Thank you, chef.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. They're like so like they're about to like jump out of their body, but they're trying to be respectful and hold it in, some of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, chef. Thank you.
Scots are funny, man. Scottish people are funny. Have you been to Glasgow to perform there?
No, but
One of the best crowds.
there's a festival there that I've heard that's amazing.
Okay.
You
should try it.
Yeah.
Food sucks,
Yeah.
but the crowds are good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Final question. I think this comes from a lady, Nolan_Sozi. How do you deal with getting all the ladies? It must be frustrating 24/7.
Just have to pick and choose and prioritize, make an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. The Excel
Yeah.
thing is that's the thing that's most important. Really categorizing, 10s to uggos, have your X and Y,
Different
completely.
races,
Right.
because
That's important. That's all important,
Yeah, there's different vibes. You
Yeah.
need to bring them to different places. If
Different
it's,
vibes, different flavors for Uncle Roger.
No, it's been nice, but I don't know. I feel like because I'm somewhat known on dating apps, sometimes the interaction gets weird.
I'm sure it does. Well, how quickly do you know that somebody knows of you? Does that make sense? Like, so if you're engaging with a girl, and then like how far into the conversation are you like, oh, I think they know me from this Uncle Roger character?
They'll probably bring it up.
Oh, they bring it up pretty quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my brother loves you. They never say they love me. It's, oh, my brother loves you.
I
try
got
to play it cool.
I've gotten at some of the show that just trip me out because like I'm a 33-year-old dude. Like I'll have young dudes who are like 18, 19 that'll come to the all ages shows that are like 21 up, etc. I've gotten this multiple times where they're like, my mom loves you, dude. I'm like, your mom loves me? This is so, you know what I mean? It's like a teenage dude though. I'm like, this is so weird for me to hear that your mom, you know what I mean?
I think that's how they flirt nowadays, Gen Z people.
I guess.
Yeah, they grew up with iPads. What do they know about flirting? Right. They're just so stunted in their growth, their social skills.
The iPad.
Probably.
I'm gonna try to make sure that my son does not. I don't want to make him an iPad kid. It's too much, man.
It's easy though.
I know.
You save
well,
money
that's
on
the
a sitter.
problem.
Yeah. Oh, your sitter will probably give him an iPad. They're probably gonna just chill out.
I would be pissed. I'd be like, if we're paying you, no, that's what you're here for.
Yeah, you need to set up a little Simply Safe camera. Just spy on them.
The teddy bear. It's all creepy.
But like Gen Z kids, when you see them on TikTok and I don't know. I think like it's one generation removed from us, isn't it? It's just weird. They have the LED strips in their rooms, and they're just
it's just a different thing.
Yeah. We're out of touch now, man.
I don't know. We're the next old play. You're the same age as my sister, and I feel like the 90s was a really good time to grow up.
Oh, it was fun.
It's very.
We eventually got the internet when we were ready for it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but when we were younger, we still played outside.
Yes.
Remember that? Remember playing outside?
I love it. I love doing it.
Yeah. There was still like. I hear comics joke about stuff in the 90s in the US. There's differences and similarities compared to the 90s in Malaysia, right? But you still had like the catalogs.
What was
clothes and you jerk off
like,
to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was something? Was it Playboy and stuff like that? Like in Malaysia, like what is the thing that you stumbled upon as like a teenager that you're like, whoa, what is this?
We just had for the kind of like porny stuff, we just had like. We had like night markets that sold like clothes and like food and everything, and there will always be a stall selling like pirated DVDs. So and then if you're an adult, you can just ask them, do you have any like dirty ones? And they will bring up from under the table a little folder, a little binder, full of like porn DVDs.
Yeah, just a porn booklet.
Yeah, you know, and it was good. It was browsing. It's nice. You had the anticipation. You know, you bought it. My dad bought it.
Instead of Blockbuster,
he just browsed it in front of me. So okay.
Instead of Blockbuster's Cockbuster, it's just like they open like this. this
Cockbusters. But you had the anticipation, right? You bought it. You just looked at the sleeve.
Right.
Remember DVDs used to come with like sleeves and artwork. And you can see like screenshots of the scenes at the back.
Yeah, that would get you excited about it.
Yeah, and then you just had all this anticipation. You want to go home and watch it.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Yeah, it would be good. And then nowadays we just lost it. It's too instant.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
Are you 18? Yep.
Let's just lie. Who's not lying on that screen?
Right.
You know. But yeah, the 90s were a good time.
Yeah.
And we saw how good computers got over the years. You know, now computers and phones is very different year to year.
Yeah.
Right? But remember the old days, like Windows 95 to Windows 2000 was
in technology, we're like, whoa.
Yeah, if we went from Minesweeper to pinball.
Yeah.
That's a big change.
Crazy like graphic developments and video games and stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, the saxophone's out now.
The saxophone's out, which means we're going to do our closing segment called Sax Talk. Oh. Sax Talk.
Well, I had a foursome one time. And it was great. I recommend. I've only done it once. I recommend if you have a chance to do it. Ideally, it's 2 men and 2 women, and not just like 1 woman and 3 guys. I recommend getting some Viagra ready because you know usually it works, but in a foursome setting, it's pressure. If you're new to it, you're not used to that pressure, you know. So you gotta just kind of get some external help from Viagra. And then we were just going at it. It was all just. It felt like a very porny scene because you're fucking someone sometimes, and then someone's watching you fuck someone, and you're watching someone else fuck someone. And sometimes, the guy would just take a break and you have to like please 2 women at once. And that's just too much for me. I don't want that responsibility. The best part about having a foursome is, the people hosting the foursome, they have a nice big house. Because if you live in a studio apartment, you're not gonna host a foursome. That's just embarrassing. So I went to this guy's place. He lived in a nice part of London, very nice neighborhood. I'm not gonna say where it is, but very nice neighborhood. Big kitchen with an island, which is a very rare thing in London. You need to be really like posh and middle class to have that. Yeah, rich couple. Terrible interior design choices is a bit of a turnoff, but the foursome was fun. That's the point of the story. We all came, and then we had whiskey afterwards. Fun night. 10. 10 out of 10. Would do it again. Yeah, that's it. Was that okay?
That was perfect. I mean, I'm blown away that you had a foursome.
Yeah, it's cool. I just met this couple on Tinder, and they were like, "Oh, we are what do they call it? Ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah,
that's what we practice, and we just like to meet people and have fun, and just met up with them. It was fun. They're nice people.
Down for the cause.
Yeah, I want to do it again.
And they, you're like, come to think of it, yeah, I'm due for another foursome.
Yeah, nice
and
house.
They were cool with the couple was cool with you having sex with their girl and all that.
Yeah. Wow. I don't think the couple ever fucked each other. I mean, they fuck every day, right? So they probably don't want to. So it was just.
So they had you and.
I brought a woman with me.
You brought a woman with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So sometimes I'll fuck the woman, and then it's hot, man. At one point I was fucking this one woman and then choking both of them at the same time. That's kind of hot, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now, was it ever weird? Like, did you ever like make eye contact with the guy in the room and you just like keep going?
It is. I feel as I'm getting soft every time I look at his dick. So that's how I know I'm straight. You know? And it's nothing bad. It's just I can't control it. You know? It's shit.
No, it's a chemical thing. You're like, oh nope, that's not for me.
Over
here.
Yeah, look at the tits. There's focus blinders on. Yeah,
there's 4 boobs right here. I put it in focus on.
And sometimes I think the guy would just take a break, and then it's nice to have you and 2 women, but then it's also a lot of pressure because oh okay, better not fuck it up now.
Yeah, I'm trying to pleasure. Yeah, so many. Orifices.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. And also the good thing is the 2 women are bi as well, so they would make out with each other and stuff.
That sounds like an ideal situation.
Yeah. Otherwise it's not a foursome. It's just 4 people having sex separately.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you want that.
Well, cool. Well, I mean, that's an awesome way to end the podcast.
Thank you.
Do you have anything that you want to plug?
You can find me on all the social media as Uncle Roger on YouTube. I make a lot of comedy videos, mainly bitching about people cooking, but I think it goes deeper than that. I have actually write jokes for it and stuff. Yeah. Follow me on all my social media as Mr. Nigel NG, MrNigel NG, and I also have my own podcast. It's called Hiya, and search that if you like the vibe here. I think on the podcast it's my podcast, and I just kind of riff in a more different ways, less character. It's just mostly me.
Yeah, it's kind of like ranty style, a little bit here and there.
Yeah. But it's good fun. Yeah. So check out all those things.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming, man. I loved having you, dude. It was so much fun.
Yeah, you should do mine sometime. Let's talk about it.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Cool, man.